Hey, what's up? And welcome to the Nate Tutas Show. Today, I am so incredibly excited because I am joined by a special guest and an absolute legend when it comes to SEO and internet marketing, Quincy Beeker. For those of you that do not know who Quincy Beeker is the founder of SEOcoaching.com, and he has over 25 years of online marketing and search engine optimization experience. Quincy helped global brands like Toyota, Hyundai, and Mastermind.com maximize their results with search engines. He recently used SEO traffic to become the #1 affiliate in one of the biggest launches that Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi had. One of the things that absolutely I absolutely love about Quincy is he is incredibly humble. And so I know he probably won't tell you this, but I'm going to say this. I was lucky enough to be in a room with Dean Graziosi and Quincy Beeker, and Dean actually looked at Quincy and said that there's only two guys in the world that he considers to be like the absolute top creme de la creme when it comes to SEO. And it's one guy that Dean literally went out and like poached off the market, right? And then the other guy is actually Quincy. And I'm pretty sure you two kind of play in two slightly different arenas. I'm pretty sure that if you guys were to go head to head, I'm pretty sure that you would probably be able to win on that one. So anyway, welcome to the show, Quincy. It's great to have you.
Oh, thanks, Nate. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So what we're talking about today, obviously, is search engine optimization. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is that when you start out in business, especially when you're an online entrepreneur and you're growing your business, and usually start off as kind of a solopreneur, and then you start building a team, and then you grow and all that kind of stuff. But there's kind of three different stages that people go through in that whole process. The first stage I refer to as the chaser, because they're the ones that are constantly chasing clients. Every single time it feels like their pipeline resets and they got to go out and they got to chase another one and another one and another one. Is then a captive, right? They're the ones that have one source of traffic. They have one launch or one program, one actually converting for them. And the reason I call them a captive is because they kind of get stuck with just that one source. And one of the things that I learned from an early mentor of mine, Dan Kennedy, is that one is the loneliest number in business, right? So today, what we're talking about, especially here with Quincy and SEO, is how you can actually become the third stage, which is what I refer to as being a code breaker, where you actually start breaking the code and developing additional sources of traffic, additional ways that you can actually get business into your company, so that if for whatever reason, paid advertising or organic or whatever, there's an algorithm shift, Google changes the platform, right? Any of that kind of stuff happens, you have ways that you can still build your actual traffic into your business. So Quincy, let's go ahead and just start with what is SEO in and of itself, and then to kind of compound on that, why would SEO be one of those traffic sources that a business owner would want to add to their business?
Yeah, that's a great question. To be honest, I really drive the idea. I thrive on the idea that SEO is not just content publishing, like most people see it. Most people think, oh, SEO is just publishing articles, right? But to me, SEO is, of course, the acronym stands for search engine optimization. And I think there is no better time to be visible than the exact moment when your client is actively looking for a solution, right? They're having a problem and they're trying to solve that and actively searching for a solution. So when we do search engine optimization, we try to become visible and we optimize that Google sees us, or Google or any search engine. We'll touch on that in a minute, but search engine optimization is becoming visible at the exact moment when the client, your ideal audience, is looking for a solution, right?
Yep.
There is, like I said, no better time to be in front of your customer than when they are most likely to convert. And they're searching for solutions everywhere, right? So that's why search engine, to me, is a search engine is anywhere where people are searching for information. whether it's a solution, just how to do something, directions to something. Anywhere people are searching for information, that becomes a search engine. So we have to be there and optimize to be in front of your customer at the exact moment when they want to see you.
Yeah, I think we've
And
all. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So we there are several ways that we optimize, right? Several, like I said, people search for information in a whole different suite of places, right? People search, of course, in Google. That's the first thing that comes to mind to a lot of people. But what a lot of people don't know is that YouTube is the second largest search engine. So that is also a really big search engine. And nowadays, everything becomes intertwined with AI, right? So when we are searching for a solution in AI, that is the search engine at the moment as well. So we can optimize to be there and be recommended by the AI search engines. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because it's one of those things where when people hear search engine optimization, I don't know if it's because the word optimization is a more complex word. So people are like, well, what does that actually mean? Right. But in all simplicity, it means that, and we've all experienced this, right? We've had those moments where we're like, oh, I'm searching for a solution. I've got a problem. I wonder if I can just go into Google and say, what's the best way to do X, right? Or where can I find out more
yeah,
about Y? And at those moments, that's where you see all those people that show up on that first page of Google, right? Or they show up in the ads if they're paying for ads and whatnot. And you start being able to see that people are actually searching for your particular solution that you actually offer, right? So I always think of it in the 5 levels of awareness that like Eugene Schwartz talks about, where he's like, there's the person that's unaware, there's the person that's problem aware, and those problem aware people are usually in searching for how do I actually fix, how do I actually solve my problem, right? Then you have the solution aware where they know what the different solutions are. So they start searching for, well, like as an example, if I have back pain, what are the different ways that I can actually solve back pain? Is it medication? Is it chiropractic? Is it acupuncture? Is it, hanging upside down from some, funky contraption? Like, what are the things that people are searching for? And then how do you insert yourself into kind of the mindset of what they're actually thinking so that your content shows up, right?
exactly. And it's a good thing that you mentioned this the different phases of a customer journey, because you can optimize for each and every phase. Because in each and every phase, people are searching different things, right? They're searching with a different intent, is what we call it in SEO. And
Yeah.
we can target those intents when we create content, when we optimize our content to appear to be visible for those people, right? Because we know what they're searching for. If you do it right, you are aware, you know what your customer is looking for at that moment in the different stages. And when we know that, we can pinpoint that exact phase. And through optimizing our content, we can target those people in the exact phase that they're in. And when they find our content, they just come into our world, and we guide them through the rest of the customer journey until they convert, right? And that
Yep.
is the main goal. Often people forget that it's not about just optimizing and being there, grabbing that first position in Google. It's about ROI, right? You're investing money, time, effort in optimizing your asset, your website to appear there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's not about that optimization. It's about getting the customer, growing your business, getting the ROI from what you put in, right? And that
Yep.
is often what people forget when doing SEO. It's not just about optimizing, it's about really growing your business, grabbing that attention and converting those people into customers.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I remember the first time that I read Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising, where he talks about those 5 different levels of awareness. The 4th and 5th level, I realized I didn't mention. The 4th level being product aware. They're actually aware of the product that you offer, right? And then the 5th level being most aware. They're aware that your specific product is the solution for them. Those are kind of like the raving fans. But it brings up an interesting point, because like you had said, you meet the customer where they're at in their journey, right? And one of the things I remember when I was reading in that book, one of the things that Eugene Schwartz talks about is how your headline has to speak to where they are in their specific journey. Otherwise, it almost goes over their head. Like they're completely oblivious to it having any connection to them, even if it is the solution, right? If you're talking about your specific product, when they're focused on their specific problem, talking about that product isn't going to have any correlation for them. So you have to make sure that you're optimized for that specific level of awareness. So with that being said, who would you say that SEO is right for, and who would you say that it's wrong for when it comes to being ready to actually start a journey of putting search engine optimization in place for their business?
Yeah, so of course, any business can benefit from SEO, right? When you have a business, you want more customers, you want to grow. But from my experience, the businesses that have the most and fastest results with SEO are the businesses that already have a proven offer, businesses that have some authority, that have some experience in the field, right? They the reason being because those businesses have assets that they can leverage, that they can optimize. They have connections within the industry. They have a certain experience, authority that they can draw upon to further increase the branding that they have online, right? So one of the things that I teach people in my courses, in my coaching, is that they need to first decide what they want to be known for, right? If you are clear on what you want to be known for as a business, as a person, as a brand, then you can really create a really good brand, and then you can create consistency in what Google sees about you, what the AI search engines see about you, right? Because you don't want to confuse them. You want to have them be very clear on who you are, what you stand for, what your products are, so that they can take that information and make the perfect match between your business and your audience, right? So who would benefit the most from SEO are those businesses, those people who already have some experience, already have some expertise, and you don't need to have a big social media following. That's the beauty about SEO, right? You don't. It makes a very level playing field, because once you start optimizing, you can compete with the big guys, because oftentimes they have a lot of they're covering a lot of different topics, and they are doing things that are not really optimized, because large companies often have really big corporate decision making that they have to go through. But if you have a smaller business, you can move quickly, publish content quickly, and optimize quickly, right? So that you can really get that targeted content out that brings you that perfect customer who has a specific problem at a specific time and who is most likely to convert. And so, so that's mainly what I would say are the businesses that can benefit the most from SEO. So um, uh, one thing you have to keep in mind, right? SEO is for those businesses, but if you're looking for fast results that you get without doing anything, results that are overnight. So yeah, SEO might not be the right channel for you. Um, Although I have to say, I have been able to grab first positions overnight. Those things can happen, and but you really have to have optimized certain things first. You have to know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But when starting out with SEO, don't expect overnight results. But expect to do consistent work over time. And the beauty of SEO is that it brings you consistent customers, right? I still am getting traffic from qualified searches that people do. Qualified people are coming to my business from pages that I published years ago. I haven't touched them since, and they're still bringing me consistent and really, really perfect quality leads to my business. So if you do want uh, uh, to your efforts, your investments to compound the ROI, then SEO is a perfect channel. And so when starting out, I always recommend to my customers, do a few things, right? Do the things that bring you traffic immediately, for example, paid ads, paid search ads, etc. But also start working on SEO immediately as well, because like I said, it compounds ROI, right? You can, every page you publish, every video you publish on YouTube, every asset you publish is a new door that can bring you customers for years to come, right? So that's why SEO is so high on ROI, that it's when you are doing things right, you can see earnings per click that are very, very high. I've really seen so much such high ROI that when I tell people who are focused on just paid ads what I'm getting in terms of earnings per click with targeted traffic from SEO, they are really amazed, and they're really interested in what it is that they can do for to optimize for that SEO traffic. Because like I said, there's no better time to be in front of your customer than when they are actively searching for the solution that you can provide. So if you want consistent leads that grow over time, no matter what the cost of clicks are, if you don't want to depend on paid ads because increasing cost, audiences that are changing, right? Just start doing SEO, because that is a really consistent way to get new leads into your business at a very, very low cost of acquisition.
Yeah,
So,
and that's
yeah.
something I know a mutual mentor of ours, Dean Graziosi, he uses the analogy of you've got like sweet corn, right, which is a cash crop that you can turn over and over and over again. Farmers can usually plant that 2 or 3 times a season, and they plant it and then they get cash from it right away because they go harvest it, they sell, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the next, seedlings are growing, so that it's a constant churn. But as soon as they stop planting, right, that disappears. That's the way that like paid advertising is. You pay for your ads, they go out there, you get a return from it. But if you turn off the ads for whatever reason, right, if you decrease your ad spend at any point, the results from those ads are going to diminish, right? And then the other
Exactly.
side of that is what what Dean refers to as like the apple trees, right? So you build this orchard of apple trees, and yeah, when you first plant the trees, it takes a while for them to actually grow. But over time, they start harvesting fruit. And once that fruit starts to actually be harvested, and I actually have a neighbor of mine that owns an apple orchard, and he's like asking us, because we have a little 5-year-old baby girl, as you know, and he'll be like, hey, do you guys want to come out and pick apples? Because I got to get rid of these things. Like I produce so many apples that I can't get rid of all of them. So kind of the same thing. I always look at like paid advertising and stuff like that. That's one of those speed to market type things. SEO, and whether you're talking SEO or you're talking like organic social media, those are both things that have kind of that longer tail. Sure, on Instagram or something like that, you could go viral and get instant results with SEO. Like you said, you could do some things if you have everything in place and you know what you're doing, you could get search engine results immediately, but that typically has a longer tail, and then it produces fruit for a long, long time to come once you actually have those things in place.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. And it's not either or, it's and, right? So you're using different channels for different moments, for different times in your business, right? And the data you gather from paid ads can fuel your SEO as well, so that you can know exactly what your customer reacts to, responds to, and use more of that in your SEO strategy, so that all of your business grows, and all of your marketing channels work together for that growth that you're looking for, to make more impact in your customers' lives, right?
Yeah, and that's we go back to the conversation we kind of started off with of you've got the chaser, you've got the captive, and then you've got the code breaker, right? The captive to me is always that person that has one strategy, right? They're doing just paid ads, or they're doing even in some cases just SEO, right? And I've had clients where I've worked with them and they're in both boats, right? I've had clients that are doing just paid ads, and all of a sudden there's a shift in the algorithm, or their pixel breaks or something like that, and their ad performance drops and their business struggles, and it's like instant, right? They didn't change anything on the operational side, but just that front end advertising jacks everything up. Same thing. I've had people that are on social media, and they do really, really well with social media. They've built huge followings, and all of a sudden there's a shift in the algorithm and their posts don't get nearly as much reach, and they struggle. And then I know people that have done SEO and they do really, really well, but then they go and they hire someone new to work on their website, or they change something, and all of a sudden they take those articles or those posts that they had that were generating traffic for them for so long, and all of a sudden it's no longer searchable, and their search engine results drop overnight, right?
Right.
So either way, it's a matter of you have to have multiple different ways that traffic can actually come to your site, to your funnels, to wherever you are, so that you're findable, right? And so with that, what would you say are some of the ways that people actually get SEO wrong?
So one of the thing is, now with AI, right? People take AI, they say to AI, oh, write me an article about this and this topic, make it 3,000 words, something like that, and they just publish it, right? So the thing with AI is that AI doesn't produce new information. They just take the information that they have read somewhere, that they have learned somewhere on the internet, and they just combine that information and regurgitate what they have learned already, right? So you as a business owner, you know best who is your customer, what they are struggling with, and you know as better than anyone else who can benefit from your services, your products, etc. So you know as well why you're the best person to work with when it comes to the solution you provide, right? So when one of the main things that I see going wrong with SEO is when people just are lazy in SEO, right? They don't read the article after it has been produced. They just outsource it to some random SEO agency who doesn't really know their business, who isn't even interested in knowing their business. They just are interested in producing content so that they can get money from you, right? So that is what I see going wrong so many times, that people are pouring so much money into SEO agencies that don't care about your customer like you do. They just don't know your business. They don't know why you are the best one. And they just are interested in producing content to show you that they have published yet another article, right? But at the end of the 6 months or 12 months that your contract has, you're looking back and you're like, I don't have any ROI, right? So how does that work? And that's when people start saying SEO is dead. So SEO is not dead. Bad SEO is dead, and that is why I really try to help people doing SEO right. That's why I coach people into knowing how to do it the right way. How to, even if you don't end up doing it yourself and you end up hiring an SEO agency, because you understand that bit of SEO and the main ideas of SEO, you know when your SEO agency is doing a good job or not, right? So, and there are like a few things that people are doing wrong. So they are, of course, so many times I see people start doing SEO without even a way to track if that is bringing them results or not, right? So first thing is you need to set up your tracking, your measurement so that you can know when SEO is working. You can see what the things are that are and are not working, so that you can optimize and further optimize your results, right? To get the most out of your efforts. Like I said, SEO is not just about publishing content, it's about getting ROI and getting more customers and helping customers find you because they need you, right? They need the solution that you can offer them. So when they are searching for a solution, just make sure that you are there to help them. It's not just about growing your business. It's about making a difference in people's lives, right? So making a really positive impact. So yeah, and it's another thing that I see people doing wrong is so many times. So it always makes me laugh because people are like, oh, I'm going to optimize my website and my content for SEO, right? And they optimize it in a way that it's super optimized for the search engine machine. So the search engine, for the search engines, it's perfect. And then the search engines start sending them traffic. And then what happens? It's not optimized for the human being that needs to see that content and actually make the decision to work with you, right? So when optimizing for search engines, do not forget to really optimize for conversions and for the human reader and consumer of your product or your content as well, right? So people often forget that, it's about the customer, helping the customer. So customer-centric SEO is where it's at, right? That is what makes the difference between good SEO and bad SEO.
Yep. Yeah, and I've seen that a lot, certainly, where you'll get to an article or something like that, and you'll start reading it, and you're like, "Wow, they just strategically placed a certain word through this article, and it doesn't even make sense. It's not even, in some cases, it's not even readable to the normal like human that's actually reading it. You're like, no one would write it this way. Like, what the heck? So,
so what's the point of attracting people to that page, right?
Right. Exactly. So that's actually a great segue too, because you and I have a challenge that's coming up, right? The client attraction challenge, where we're going to be going deep into SEO optimization and how people can stop being chasers. They can stop being captives, and they can actually start leveraging SEO as a potential traffic source for them to start bringing additional leads, additional revenue into their business. So with that said, what would be just like a quick summary of what people can expect from what you're going to bring to the client attraction challenge?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the challenge because what I'm going to teach people is how to view SEO, right? How to have the right mindset, how to think like the search engine, so that you can know what the search engine wants to see and what they need to see, not just to give you good positions, but to actually match your business, your page, your content with your ideal customer, right? And what I'm also gonna teach is how to find out what content to produce, right? So that you don't just produce content for the sake of producing content, but produce content in a way that actually can benefit your business, right? Actually can put you as the authority in your field, the expert in your field that you are, right? Because it's when publishing content, it's not just about just taking that content and writing it or producing the content, but it's you really need to know what are what is your ideal customer looking for, and how do we present that in a way that works for search engines and for your ideal customer, so that when you get that perfect SEO traffic, that you are able to convert that traffic into paying customers in your business. So it's basically getting the strategy right, getting the mindset right, and actually I'm going to show as well why it's a really good thing that your competitors think that SEO is dead, so that you can really make a difference, establish your business as the number one recommended solution when people are searching for a solution in both AI tools and Google, Bing, etc. Right? So that you are the number one go-to source of solutions when it comes to your area of expertise, so that you can grow your business and impact more lives in a positive way.
Yeah, and that's what this is really all about, right? It's about impact, and it's about being able to grow and scale our businesses. So if you want to know more about the Client Attraction Challenge for SEO, there's going to be a link somewhere down below here in the description that you can get access to the actual challenge itself. The challenge is going to be running in April. It's going to be Tuesday, April 7th through Thursday, April 9th. And then for those that upgrade to VIP, Quincy and I are also going to be doing a live bonus day on Friday, April 10th, for probably about an hour and a half or so. So if you've got questions after you go through the challenge, you'll be able to get access to where Quincy and I can both come on and actually answer those questions directly for you. So with that, Quincy, thank you so much for joining me on the Nate Tutas Show. Thank you for what we've got coming up with the Client Attraction Challenge. I am super excited and so grateful to have you as part of it, because like I said, you're an absolute legend in the space, and it is an absolute honor to partner with you on this. So appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nate. I'm really looking forward to the challenge, and I can't wait to connect with the audience and hear what they have to say, what the questions are, and be sure to upgrade to live, because we're going to answer your questions and you're going to get personalized help so that you can really move forward in your business.
Yep. So go ahead and check out the link below, and we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, April 7th. Take care, everybody.
Bye.